In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, when the sky is clear and red. Good morning, gremlins. It is a gray and gloomy day, but my office is somehow very warm. So I was gonna wear a sweatshirt today because I was like, oh, the weather seems so nice. It's too hot up here. And yes, I am drinking hot coffee, but I had prepped the coffee. Like, I'd got it in the machine, it was ready to go. And then I realized my office was very hot, so it's fine. I'm going to drink this hot coffee and be hot. But gremlins, you're not here to have me complain about the heat this late in September. You're here because this is the second Halloween-A-Thon reading vlog. So in this vlog, things are going to be a bit goofy TBR wise, because I have 3 books, possibly 4, lined up for this, and they only 2 of them really connect to each other. The other 2 are kind of random. So I'll just get into the first book we're reading, and then I'll have you figure out how this TBR is slightly nonsensical by the end. But the first book that I'll be reading for the second vlog of Halloween-A-Thon. Oh, also, if you're coming to this video first, if you didn't know, Halloween-A-Thon is hosted by Kelsey over at Slime & Slashers. It's a very, like, kind of do what you want sort of reading challenge, which is great. You can print out like a game board, you can do a bingo board, you can print out various prompts. I wind up writing down previous prompts and just like picking, there's normally like different characters with prompts on them, and I just kind of pick whichever character I think has the most prompts that I can make stuff work with. Now, normally I go into these prompts with nothing set up in advance, but this year I didn't do that. I actually had a bunch of books hanging out already that I was going to work into prompts. So I picked the character that would fit books I already had, and then any prompts that I didn't have a book for already, I filled in with like a library book. Like, I specifically went and looked for something that would fit that. So the previous vlog was all 90s nostalgia stuff. Some of those were library books, some of those were books I picked up over the course of this entire year, either at like, well, really at one half-price bookstore that I went to, I got a couple books way back in like May. Then I also picked up some books at a library book sale for $1/4 each, and then the rest was library books. But this one is going to be, it's going to be so interesting because this is how I'm making these books work. This is the only TBR that didn't quite have a theme when I was figuring stuff out. I have another TBR set up. Everything in that one makes sense. Totally does. This one, just nebulous nonsense. The first book we'll be reading, because I have to get this back to the library, is Rosemary's Baby by Ira Levin. So I have never read this book. I have seen the movie, and I really want to watch the Peacock series Apartment 7A. I think that's the name of it. And it was on Peacock. I don't know if it still is. But I consistently have read things where I'm like, oh, I think this is inspired by Rosemary's Baby, which the movie is, I think, enough to go off of to make that comparison. But I've always been like, I should probably read the book. Like, I should read the book. And I say this because I'm not actually the biggest fan of Rosemary's Baby, the movie. Now, it has been a minute since I watched it, but I've seen it twice, 3 times. I try every time, and I consistently think it is very slow, which could mean I will think this book is very slow. Or maybe my tastes have changed, who knows, or maybe I'll like the book more than the movie. The movie is just, I always feel like it's just taking a while. So we are going to read the book and see if I have those same feelings, or if I really like the book. I like the concept. I have always very much enjoyed the concept of Rosemary's Baby, which, if you don't know, is basically Rosemary and her husband, what is his name? Guy. Yes, that, I feel like I should have remembered that. Rosemary and Guy move into an apartment complex. Everyone is very invested in them. And then, you know, Rosemary may or may not be carrying Satan's kid. So yeah, that's consistently the premise of Rosemary's Baby. And anything inspired by Rosemary's Baby. Like, well, I guess not 100%, but like Nestlings by Nat Cassidy is kind of inspired by Rosemary's Baby, and like does, like, it's not entirely similar, but there are similarities in that there's an apartment and a couple moves in and there's a baby. Sorry, my asthma is acting up. I think it's the weather. It might be the fact that my office is weirdly hot. I don't know. It's just bizarre because like the rest of our house is cold and my office has decided to be peak heat. And I'm just like, why? Why are you hot? Also, it's trash day for half the neighborhood, so garbage trucks keep going by. But the first book will be Rosemary's Baby. We'll see how that goes. Again, I'm not going to tell you the other books until I get to them because 2 of them I have. One I haven't gotten yet. I need to get it. I'm just waiting until closer to when I read it. But yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. I am very curious. I have wanted to read Rosemary's Baby for a long time just to know how similar it is to the movie, if it's different, if I will really like Ira Levin's writing, because he also did Stepford Wives, I believe. And I also haven't read that. Like, I haven't read anything by Ira Levin, and I am curious, so I thought I would start with this one. Which, again, would probably surprise you, because I said I don't really like Rosemary's Baby the movie, but we shall see. And again, maybe I have different tastes now. Who knows? But I'm gonna go. Work is about to start, so I don't know when I'll be able to fill you in on anything for Rosemary's Baby yet. But I will update you when I have an update. Also, I may have to drag out my fan, because, my god, I don't know why it's so warm in here. I truly am baffled. Sorry, you can't fix this problem. There's like no ventilation in my office, but I'm just like, the rest of my house is so cool and nice and pleasant, and it's like summer in here. All right, I will stop complaining about the heat. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna finish getting ready, like stuff set up for work, drink my coffee, and I will update you when I have an update on Rosemary's Baby. Hello, gremlins. It is the end of the day. I need to take the dogs out very, very soon, so I'm just gonna do this pretty quick. During lunch, I was able to get to part 2. Yes, part 2 of Rosemary's Baby. So I'm about 100 and something pages in. It's only 245 pages, which isn't too bad. I do think this is moving much faster than I remember the movie going. Now, I do think the movie is on streaming, and when I finish this, I will probably toss it on as like a background noisy work kind of thing. Krista's not gonna want to watch it. I'm not gonna make Krista watch it. And like, I remember it being pretty long. So my thought is I will, when I finish this, just whenever, whatever work day is next, I'll just like toss it on and have it playing. So I can try and get an idea for it if I have different feelings about the movie, but that won't be until I finish this. Also, I do still want to watch the show. Don't know if I can convince Chris to watch that one either, but I think they're on the same thing. So I may just like put on the movie and then like over the course of the rest of the vlog or in a different vlog, watch it. I don't know. But I'm just gonna let you know that there will be spoilers in this because Rosemary's Baby is like a well-known thing, and spoilers in that I'm going to talk about the fact that obviously Rosemary has a baby. I don't know that that would be a spoiler, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you gotta know that she's gonna get pregnant because she's having a baby. But so at this point, as of where I am, but to start the story, Rosemary and Guy, I already told you this, have gotten an offer to move into this hotel called the Brom. I believe it's the Brom. Did they even say it on this? Bramford, the Bramford. They call it the Bram. That's what my brain was thinking. So they had actually just put in, signed a lease for another apartment that's very modern, but the Bramford is the one they desperately want to stay in. Rosemary absolutely loves it, and she really wants to live there, even if the unit is smaller. So they wind up going to look at it. It is a smaller... Oh, I'm almost out of space. Okay, I gotta stop this clip. Hold on. Okay, hi. I did have a new SD card sitting on my desk, so we should be good. Where was I before I ran out of space? So they get this offer that they can look, they tour it. Rosemary is in love with this apartment, and so she and Guy wind up moving in. They share a wall, it sounds like, because the floors used to be larger apartments that were then broken up into smaller apartments. So they kind of share a wall with room 7A, based on the layout of the building, I guess. And the people in 7A are, I know it's very loud. They're doing a ton of stuff today. Cast of it, are the Castavets. And so the Castavets are in 7A, and it turns out that there is someone else staying with the Castavets. Oh gosh, hold on. I was gonna mark everyone's names down because I knew I was gonna forget. So they decide, they know they're there, they introduce themselves, and then they have someone staying with them named Terry, who says, oh, the Castavets took me in. It was actually really incredible. They helped me get clean. I'm helping them around the house, so let me stay there, all this stuff. Please note she is wearing a necklace that then you will see later. And so she's staying with them. Something occurs, which I believe is covered more in like the 7A show. We may get more details in the rest of this. I don't know, but I don't think so. Something happens to Terry, and then the cast of it are like, oh, we're so lonely, there's no Terry here. So they invite, my hair is doing a weird thing, sorry. They invite Guy and Rosemary for dinner, and from that point on, Guy starts spending a lot of time with the husband, Roman, and Mrs. Castevet, Minnie, starts spending a lot of time with Rosemary and like building up kind of a relationship, and Rosemary's kind of like, oh, like Guy doesn't really have parents who have cared about him, so like that's nice. And like Rosemary doesn't really have family she interacts with. They call her like the black sheep because of her choices in marriage. They're not a big fan of Guy, and so they're living here. They're having like she's having a lovely time, like decorating, doing all this stuff. And we learned that Rosemary like desperately wants to be pregnant. She has consistently wanted to be pregnant and just hasn't happened, but she like really wants to be pregnant, and Guy keeps saying like we should, like we will, just not right now, because like his career hasn't really taken off. And then after a certain point, some things start happening. Guy starts getting better jobs, like incredible jobs, and Rosemary is upset with him because something does occur that is incredibly inappropriate, and Rosemary's reaction to it is correct. I'm not going to go into it, but it's basically non-consensual. A non-consensual situation occurs, and other things may also be occurring that are incredibly non-consensual, but we get the event where Rosemary becomes pregnant, and Guy informs her like, oh yeah, totally did that, and I don't know that you really noticed because you were kind of blacked out. And she's like, what? And she's very upset about this. She actually goes to stay in a cabin for a while to get over this because she's like, what? And like, I don't think she should get over it. I really don't think, but she like convinces herself to, which like, it seems like she convinces herself a lot with Guy. And so she comes back, and Guy is incredibly busy because he's booked this amazing part, incredible part, great part. And Rosemary is definitely pregnant. And everyone is very excited that Rosemary is pregnant, including the Castevets, which like, I knew I was gonna cough. I'm so sorry. Asthma. And it's raining really hard and I have to take the dogs out. I just like, I knew my asthma was gonna act up even more. I need to take a certain medicine that I forgot to take. But the Castevets are also very excited, and it's like kind of weird. All of it is weird. I think it's weird. I also think Rosemary is too forgiving. I am enjoying it. I do think it is reading pretty quickly, and like I'm enjoying seeing what's going on. So I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying the pace. I also still wish Rosemary were upset about the non-consensual moment, but she's made herself like brush it off because she's pregnant. She's always wanted a baby. So she's like, but like I'm pregnant, so it's fine. I'll just like ignore it. And I'm like, sure. But yes, so we got all of that. And yeah, I'm just enjoying it. I don't want to tell you too much because that will spoil some stuff. So I'm trying not to spoil things that aren't like readily apparent from what you would know from the media / the title, like other things you would have consumed that are similar. Humorously, if you have read Nestlings, they explain this hotel as having gargoyles and stuff on it, and that was a very key thing in Nestlings. So I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. But beyond that, I feel like that's the update for now. I'm gonna read more of this tonight. There's a football game tonight, so I will be doing some reading. During, like, throughout the day, I had on his background because I kind of got Shudder to watch Clown and Cornfield and then forgot to cancel it before I got charged. So we are watching Shudder until what I paid for is done. I only did a month. I have to remember to cancel before the month is over. But I accidentally wound up paying for a month, which is not that bad. Shudder is not an expensive streaming service, so it's okay. But I'm trying to get my money's worth. And I watched Hell Motel, or I had Hell Motel on, which is basically a new season of the show Slasher. It's Slasher. Don't let it fool you. It's definitely Slasher. There are people from Slasher who are consistently in Slasher in it. They also use music from Slasher, but in it, a bunch of true crime connected people, whether they were in an event with a slasher or a killer, or are like an actor who's been in something, they get invited to the opening of this hotel that was previously the site of a satanic sacrifice. It was good. I enjoyed it. Also, again, I probably missed some stuff because I just had it like plugged in over there and it was playing and I was mostly listening to it, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than any season of AHS recently. So I feel like that's a good sign. Slasher is a good series. It's a bit like AHS, but it's Canadian. So I very much enjoyed it. Also, gay couple owns the hotel, which was lovely. But I think that's it for now. Oh, also, just because I'm talking about things to watch in Shudder, Lauren over at Happy Haunts Library posted things to watch for October. And I think that's when this video, sometime in October, if this video is going up, I believe, probably. The video will have been out for a while by the time I post this, I'm sure. But in that list, there were like Shudder movies you can watch, Tubi movies you can watch. Tubi is a great resource because everything is free. And there are some commercials, but it's not that bad. So yeah, I think that is everything for this. I need to take the dogs out and find a raincoat. It's really rainy. And I also think I need to drink some water. All I've had today is coffee and I'm getting a headache. So I should hydrate, like actually hydrate. But yeah, so I gotta go. I will talk to you later, gremlins, when I have updates on Rosemary's Baby. We're not doing anything super exciting for dinner. I'm making pasta, like raviolis. I'm just throwing them in water, but I'm making like a big batch, so we have leftovers. So yeah, but I am going to go, and I will talk to you later, dear gremlins. I may be damp when, well, I should be dried by the time I talk to you. It is so rainy. I love rain. I just don't love rain when I have to take the ducks out. All right, talk to you later, gremlins. Hello, gremlins. It is halftime, and just odd aside, the Arizona jerseys that they have that are apparently special for this year are like some kind of regional specific thing. They are weird. They look like they're covered in dirt, and like it just makes the uniforms look dirty. Like they came out and I was like, did Arizona not wash their uniforms? And then literally right before halftime they had someone like, oh, the new blah blah blah, and like explain them, and then another announcer just went, oh yeah, they do look like they have dirt on them. They do. I feel like you could have done so many other nice things besides make it look like you just didn't wash their uniforms after they played in the mud. Anyway, that's an aside. I have finished Rosemary's Baby, and I thought during halftime I would just mute it and then fill you in. So, as you know, as the story goes, Rosemary has a baby. The end of this gets very fast-paced. There's also a lot of people, so Rosemary does finally interact with some people who don't live at their apartment complex, and these people are like, Rosemary, you look terrible, because she's not doing well as a pregnant woman, and they're like, you should get a second opinion, you look terrible, and then suddenly Rosemary's fine. Still pregnant, totally fine. And yes, things just begin to escalate from the point that Rosemary feels fine. There is another incident that involves someone close to her. Her husband's career seems to be going well, but also Rosemary is consistently concerned about the baby, and that concern gets even higher as things get like seemingly weirder for Rosemary. So I really did enjoy it. It is definitely fast-paced. This ad had strobe lights, so that was cool for no one. It really did. It's like some kind of weird exercise commercial. Oh, for goggles that you can talk to. Why would you strobe? Anyway, I'm getting distracted. But it was very good. I did enjoy this. Tomorrow during work, I'll probably toss the movie on, especially like before work, because I should have time to just like start it and see what I think. If I think the movie is better, having not read the book, or if I still think the movie is slow. I also do still want to watch the show, but I don't know when I'm doing that. The Apartment 7A one about the woman in 7A who is not the possibly Satan worshipping couple. But I did enjoy it. There's also a really cool line in here. I took a photo of it on my phone that I don't want to pull up. Hold on, let's see. Oh, here it is. So their friend Hutch had said that people were weird there, like the entire apartment complex is abnormal. And Rosemary says, and the neighbors certainly don't seem abnormal, except normal abnormal, like homosexuals. There are 2 of them. And across the hall from us, there's a nice couple named Gould with a place in Pennsylvania where they breed Persian cats. And I just liked that Rosemary's like, oh, normal abnormal, like homosexuals. Like, it's just, it's fine. There's homosexuals who live here. It just made me chuckle. But I very much enjoyed this. Ira Levin did a good job, and I liked the ending. And I don't know if the ending is the same in the movie, but I did very much enjoy this. We are now moving on to a reread. So 2 of the books in this are a reread, though one I've read a long time ago, so I don't know that I will remember much. But this reread is Horror Store, a novel by Grady Hendrix. And I've actually heard the audiobook for this, which is interesting. It was like free when My Best Friend's Exorcism, the movie, was released. They made all of his backlist audiobooks free, so I listened to it. But what's odd is this is like spoof IKEA. So it's set at Orsk, which is the American version of IKEA. It is compared to IKEA, but distinctly not IKEA. And we're in Cuyahoga County, Ohio, and the Orsk may be haunted. So the entire book is set up like an Orsk manual, quote unquote IKEA manual. And so in the audiobook, the narrator has to describe the pages that are like about furniture to you, but that's not as good as like knowing what's there. And also there's stuff in here that they don't mention because there's like order slips and some other stuff. So I've always wanted to actually physically read the book, and when I was in Ohio a while back, I had points at Barnes & Noble, and so I got it for half off, and so I'm rereading it because I want to see all of the little insert parts. So that is going to go to read for the rest of the game, part of tomorrow. I'm just gonna like casually read this, and yeah, I got through Rosemary's Baby much faster than I anticipated, so I'm just gonna like chill read this other stuff. I think that's it. If you've read Horror Store, let me know what you thought of it. Also, if you listened to the audiobook, I would like to know if you also thought it was just interesting that someone had to read the pages that were about the furniture to you, because I remember I was like, oh wait a minute, because they use like special tones and a different voice for it, which I thought was fun, but I did still really want to see it. Krista also thought I was holding an IKEA manual when I brought it in here. She was like, IKEA? And I was like, oh, not IKEA. And had to explain. But yeah, so I'm gonna read this for the rest of the game once it comes back, and we're just gonna chill for the rest of the night. We had some cider, which was lovely because we were both very cold, and yeah, I think that's it. I feel like that's it. I will talk to you in the morning, either with coffee, before coffee, around the time I get coffee. Coffee will be involved. All right, see you in the morning, gremlins. Good morning, gremlins. I'm having cold coffee, my like favorite Stoke cold brew. I'm gonna pour it into this very cute cup. The little Rottweilers and the little ghost on it. And then I'll talk to you about books upstairs. I'm very tired. But book talk will occur upstairs. Oh, good morning, gremlins. I'm tired. It is very wet outside, which I have no complaints about normally, but that may mean something odd for this weekend. So I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. I do have book stuff that I'll get to first. So coffee. Okay, I'm just very tired. Kira couldn't get comfortable for some reason last night, and so like she kept waking up, and then at a certain point I was being pushed off the bed, and I was just kind of like praying I didn't fall off for most of the night. So I am tired. But positive note, before we even tried to go to bed, I finished Horror Store, which I think, actually I know, this is my favorite Grady Hendrix book out of all of them. This is my favorite. Not only am I from Ohio, and this is set in Ohio, which I think is very fun, and I bought it in Ohio, kind of intentionally. When I saw it, I was like, you're set in Ohio. But this is so creepy. It really focuses on the fact that there used to be a prison at the site of this Orsk, and then because the Orsk is like a prison in some capacity, my hair has decided it just does not care. It looks so strange on the side. But because the guard has kind of decided like, oh, this is also a prison, he is like back, and the penitents are back. So there's a lot of like horribly frightening stuff occurring, and everyone just has to deal with it. And like parts of it are bleak, very bleak. Other parts of it are just gory. It just like is a very good horror read, and I just love the layout. Like the whole book's in blue, FYI. This is all blue. But there's like different images of stuff you can buy. At the beginning, there's even like an order form and like rules of like, oh, sideways for that wouldn't work, but like stuff about Orsk. Like it's just, this is such a like fun layout for a book, and having it be set in Orsk, which is definitively supposed to be different than IKEA, like an American ripoff of IKEA, but it just like works so well. And like the cover does look like a setup, but like there's spooky faces, there's hands coming out of stuff, like it's just a fun time. Now on to I'm going to tell you what the next book is, but I don't know that I'm going to be reading any of it today. So the next book will be The Picture of Dorian Gray, which I've read a very long time ago. And I really wanted to reread some like classic stuff. So I was debating, and I haven't owned this one, so I thought I would go with this one. If you don't know, Dorian Gray has a portrait. That's all I'm going to say. I'll talk to you more about it when I'm actually like in it. Because it's a classic, I'm sure some people already pretty much know the premise of that. But there are like character things, other stuff like that that I can talk about that aren't spoilers. So that is that. I'm already 2 books down. Picture of Dorian Gray is actually not incredibly, so like it looks very long. So 3, 2, yeah, it's like the actual text is only like 185 pages. The font is a bit small because it's printed as a classic, so it will still take a while to get through, but like a lot of it, like this is a whole like historical preface notes section. Oh, that was my bookmark. I'll look at it later. And then this is all endnotes and bibliography. So not really, like not all of this is the book, and I'm not going to read all the endnotes. I'm not doing it. Let's see. Rosemary's Baby. I did find it. It and Room 7A are actually on a different streaming site than I thought, so I can watch it. It is on Paramount, and I'm going to preface oh, I knew I was gonna cough, some of this by saying we haven't canceled Paramount, primarily because they bought Showtime. So Paramount is also CBS, and they're doing things, but they bought Showtime, and Showtime is a very gay streaming service. And the problem is there's like queer shows that I want to support that do not go to other streaming services until much later. And the problem is you're locked out of them, so you, like, if you don't watch them, they will get canceled. That's the concern that I have, because queer media, if they don't get the views that they think they should, they just get canceled. Sometimes they get canceled even if they have the views. So I'm like very paranoid that if I don't watch the Showtime shows that are gay, they will get canceled. So just, it's probably irrational. I should probably consider it, but like, they have Showtime. And there's no way to watch Showtime without having Paramount, because they've made it impossible. They like took the servers or something, I don't know. But they are a merged app. So you can't get Showtime by itself anymore. You have to have Paramount to watch anything on Showtime. And it sucks, because Showtime is very gay. I recommend Yellow Jackets. I recommend Fellow Travelers. I recommend, what else is on there? There's a ton on there. And sometimes my brain, sorry, I'm coughing so much. One sec. I just took my medicine and it decided, you know, you should cough some stuff up. It was not pleasant. Yes, so there's stuff on Showtime that like I want to support, I want to watch. So like people know about it, like it gets seen, but also it's frustrating. So yeah, but it's on Paramount, and as I have Paramount, I'll be watching / putting Rosemary's Baby on and going about my day. But that will be on, and then Apartment 7A is also on there, so I will be playing that as well. Possibly. I want to try and start it if I can today. Rosemary's Baby is very long. That is the thing I remembered. It's over 2 hours, which seems baffling to me, but we shall see. So yeah, so that is the day. The thing I was talking about for the weekend that might be tricky if it's this wet. So this is the opening night of The Haunt that I am scare actoring at. Now, I don't know when this is posting, so the opening night may have happened a while ago, because I don't have a date for this, but I don't think it's going up till October, and it is currently September. But it is opening night, and the issue is if it rains too much or is too wet, they can't run part of the attraction. Primarily the haunt, like the haunted trail, they can't do it because there's like tractors, and if it's too muddy, it's not safe for the scare actors that are out in the woods. So like, I'm hoping it dries out or they decide that it's okay, because I am very anxious about opening night. I'm just afraid like I'm gonna suck or do something very dumb. So I'm just kind of like, I would like to get opening night out of the way. But also, like, if it's this wet, I don't know what they'll do. So we're just gonna see what happens. I'm just like very nervous about the fact that like, what if I'm terrible? We did a dress rehearsal, but not for very long, and it was for people who like are working at the haunt, and they made them go through so many times that like at a certain point they knew where everything was. So it was just like very awkward because they were like literally the same people went through 4 or 5 times, and I was like, they're not like this is just timing at this point, but it's just so strange. So yeah, like I get it, but also I was like, they're not going to be scared at all because like we're not really mixing it up as much as the trail did for theirs. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just like anxious and a little bit stressed and also warm. Some of that is because I'm stressed out. I'm running a bit hotter than normal. But my office is also very stuffy today, so I don't know what's going on with that. I did cook dinner last night, so maybe it just like didn't vent enough. I don't know. But brain, that was a little rambly. But yes, so I'm gonna put Rosemary's Baby on while I finish getting ready for work. It's still early. I'm so tired. I need to drink more coffee. That's what I need to do. I'm tired. So positive notes. Gonna get stuff situated for work. Gonna start work. Gonna have Rosemary's Baby on, even though I have seen it twice, and both of those times was not like the biggest fan. But maybe I will like it differently this time now that I've read the book. Coffee. Gonna drink lots of coffee. This is just for me. I'm like amping myself up, getting myself ready, and then we're gonna try not to fixate on the fact that we're afraid we're going to suck at the haunted house tonight. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go Gremlins. I'm gonna actually get my stuff prepped because it is almost time for me to start work. I just have a couple things I gotta get open and stuff. So yeah. Alright. I will talk to you later, Gremlins. You'll probably get to see a teeny little clip of Rosemary's Baby that I think is not going to get a copyright strike. So yeah. Talk to you later. Hello, Gremlins. It is now the start of my lunch break, so I can fill you in on my Rosemary's Baby the movie thoughts. So, the movie is almost exactly a complete play-by-play of the book. Almost. Some scenes are removed, some scenes are tweaked, the timeline of certain things is altered a bit. Some of it, I just don't think you need in the movie. So like, there's a scene in the book where it's the night of the conception where Rosemary is having this very vivid like dream hallucination on a boat, and like the Kennedys are there and the Pope, and they put that in the movie, and I was like, why though? We don't need this. There's just like stuff that you don't need, and they do cut out some stuff like additional dinners or like going to see a show or going out for coffee. That's totally fine, but like some of it just felt like it didn't need to be there. Like it just made the movie so long. And because I feel like I read the book faster, no, I didn't read it in under 2 hours, but it just felt like the movie was just taking a very long time. And then like we hear what the baby looks like from Rosemary in the movie, but they don't actually show us the baby. And while the book technically does not show the baby, we get a very detailed description of what this baby looks like that Rosemary is looking at. And the movie just talks about his eyes. When like the Satanists are like, no, he has like a very detailed description of like what the hoofed Satan, hoofed, whatever, the devil with hooves, would like have as a half human baby. And this one we just know he has weird eyes. It's like, as an adaptation, I would say movie, very solid. Solid adaptation. If you like the book, you presumably will like the movie. I just still think the movie's too long. Like, I just want them to condense it. Like, some stuff can be taken out. Like, they also kind of like jump to them being at this apartment a little bit, but we spend so much time in the apartment. I just like wish, like, I don't know. I just was like, we're in this apartment so much, and it just feels like a little draggy. Even though it's like following the book kind of beat for beat, but I'm like, this is just taking a long time. Long time. But again, it's a solid adaptation, so I suppose I can't fault it for being long, but I still was like, oh my goodness gracious, long. I also had to pause it a few times just because like I am working. I'm at lunch now, but like I had stuff I had to do. I was like in meetings, like I had things going on, so I wasn't like solidly watching the movie for the just 2 and 16 minutes, 2 hours and 16 minutes. Did not watch it just for that period of time. Like it was very spread out for me. I just think it's too long. I do still want to watch Apartment 7A. I don't know if I'm going to start that today though. Maybe it's background noise. I don't know. I have no idea. I also think I may switch up books. So, okay. If you don't know, I did a video previously where I did Chuck Tingle horror. I read all 3 Chuck Tingle horror books that are out and talked about them. And I said I was going to try and do one of his like, words. One of his like romancy books. They're very short. They're typically a book you can buy on Kindle Unlimited. And I picked one that I thought would be perfect for Halloween-A-Thon because there is a prompt that's like read something out of your comfort zone, and this definitely is. I found one, but I'm having a heck of a time figuring out how to get it on my actual, like, in the Kindle app. I think it's because I don't have an actual Kindle and I'm reading on an iPad, but like something keeps going wrong and I can't like get it figured out. But apparently there's an audiobook for a 34-page book. It's only $3, which is the same price I have to, it's less than 3. It's only $2.50. But, and that's cheaper than if I got it on Kindle. And again, this is all Audible or Kindle. It's just what it is. But like, I think I'm just gonna get the audiobook at this point because I know I can get an audiobook very simply with the push of a button. Whereas I am running into so many issues because I don't want to use the card on file. Like, I wanted to use a gift card, but it's not letting me do that. And so every time I try and do it, it's not letting me change stuff and it's driving me up a wall. So I'm just gonna use the other thing. I'm gonna do the other thing. So I'm gonna get the audiobook and I think I'm gonna listen to that after lunch. Again, it is very short. It is 34 pages, so would not take long at all. So I think I'm gonna do that after, I'll get it after lunch and start it, which would mean I'm jumping it ahead of The Picture of Dorian Gray. Remember how I said this vlog, nothing really fit together? Like, there's Horror Store, there's Rosemary's Baby, there's Picture of Dorian Gray, there's, actually wait, let's try, okay. Rosemary's Baby is classic horror. Horror Store is horror, possibly could be considered like a big name in horror, and Ira Levin is also a big name in horror, so those kind of connect that way. Picture of Dorian Gray is a classic, also technically could be considered horror because of what is going on with Dorian and the portrait, so those are horror. Now, stick with me. If I remember correctly, Picture of Dorian Gray has a lot of steamy vibes, if not actual. I don't think it actually has sex. I don't think it does. But Dorian is a very flirty character, if I remember. So we have that. Also, Rosemary's Baby, there's events. Whoa, what was that? It literally sounded like someone's car didn't stop. Oh, that's horrifying. So she has a baby, and events happen to make that baby. So technically, a book about, what is it called? The physical manifestation of Halloween something. Inherently, it is also sexual. So, do they tie together kind of? Sort of? If we really stretch it, this TBR has the connectivity in some capacity, somehow. I'm just like making shapes with my hands now. It's like the red string. Like, it works, it does work, it'll work. It doesn't really work, but I made them connect, kind of. I don't know what I'm gonna title this. Probably just Halloween-A-Thon Vlog 2. And then, like, whatever. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna do that. So that's off my plate. And I stopped stressing about trying to get it on my stupid iPad. Also, the sun has come out. So hopefully that means the haunt is good. I'm still stressed about the haunt. I just don't want to mess up. I don't know. Anyway. Whew. Cool. So, next book will actually be that book, which has a very long title, and all I can ever remember is the first half of it. But that'll be in a little bit. I'll fill you in probably after work on that one. Just to let you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know beyond that. That is the only thing I have committed to in this moment, is that I'm going to get that audiobook and I'm going to listen to it after lunch. Which is probably going to take me like not even 30 minutes because it's so short. Oh goodness. Anyway, I will talk to you. See, this piece of hair has just decided it wants to be weird. It also probably doesn't help that I do need to wash my hair. So it's misbehaving a bit. But yeah, I think that is it for updates. Yes, so prepare for thoughts on a Chuck Tingle romancy book at some point today, because I did have that on the list. I had it on my list. And then I might have us fill out prompts tonight, just because the only one left is The Picture of Dorian Gray. So we'll see. Because I have other books, but they're for like I have a theme for those. So I'm not gonna add them to this. But yeah, so I'm gonna go. I will talk to you later, gremlins. Yeah, I think that's it. Talk to you later. Okay, gremlins. So quick aside, still on lunch. I went to get the audiobook and ran into the exact same issue I keep running into trying to get the Kindle book, which has never happened to me, ever. So like, normally, I wouldn't want to use a credit for this anyway because it's so cheap. So like, I hit the button that says like buy 4, and I've done this more than once because like sometimes an audiobook will be discounted for whatever reason. I don't know why. And I have done that to get like an audiobook that was kind of short that I wanted to read, and I've had no problem. It's just been like, okay, do you verify? And I've said like, okay. I went to go do it, and it immediately rerouted me to the Amazon website and was like, please log into your account. And I'm like, they're linked? Like, what are you talking about? Literally earlier this week, I signed up for Shudder on the exact same iPad that I have this on, and it chose to sign up for Shudder with Amazon because that's how I had logged into it last time. And it's not even my email address. It's my wife's email address. So I was like, what? So now I'm even more confused. Like, are they doing something goofy to these? Is there something on them? Like some kind of sale label I am like missing that is making this so difficult? Like, one, the credits are far more expensive than the audiobook. So no, not using a credit. Two, why are we rerouting me to Amazon? Like, I think I'm slowly losing my mind. Like, I don't understand. Why are they making this so hard? Why? Do they not want my money? Because at this point, I'm just like, do I read something else? Do I do something else? Because this is so frustrating. Why is this so difficult? Why? And like, I would be fine with it if it would let me change how I'm paying for it so that I could use the stupid gift card I want to use. But it won't let me do that either. So I'm just very, very confused. Slowly losing my mind confused. Has anyone, I feel like there are people who have read these who have to have not had this many issues. So it's just me? Is the internet just like, no, Catherine, you cannot have that? I don't understand. Truly, I don't. Like, if you run into this, like trying to get a Kindle book or an Audible audiobook where it just reroutes you back, did you know why? Like, the accounts are linked. Like, I pay for Audible with a different credit card than we pay for Amazon with. But like, the accounts are synced to each other. Like, they're aware of each other from what I understand. Unless maybe they're not. Maybe my Audible is, because I pay, maybe that's it. But I've never had Audible not let me buy it. Because it knows my info. So then why is it rerouting me to Amazon? This is truly mysterious. And I don't like it. I really don't like it. Because like, I've been able to do that before. Where I just hit the button and it's like, oh, here you go. Here's your Audible book. So I'm so confused. I am so confused. Maybe I'll figure this out. Maybe I will tear all my hair out. Maybe I will scream at the sky. I have no idea. I don't know why this is being so difficult. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna go. I actually need to eat food. I've spent far too long trying to figure this out. All right, I'm gonna go. I will talk to you later. Still don't understand. I still do not understand at all. In any way, shape, or form. I don't get it. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you later, gremlins. All right, gremlins. I'm sure you're very like not invested in this saga of me desperately having an issue getting this book. So, didn't get the audio. I have the Kindle version, and I have the Kindle version because I finally went up to Krista because we've run into this issue where, so this is the goofy thing. And again, I've never run into this before. So Krista uses like the app if she has to use anything for Amazon, and the app specifically was like, no, you have to do that on the website. Like, it was very weird. It's never said that before. And I was like, okay, cool. I run into the issue where if cause like I will use, like I have it pulled up on my phone, but I never like can actually purchase anything. Somehow, anytime I try and do something, if it's on my phone or computer or anything, I will get reset back to the login screen and I can't get past it. Like, it doesn't matter if I actually do type in the password correctly. It always like glitches out and will be like, oh, actually you can't log in right now. Do not ask me why. I have yet to figure it out. But like normally I can't do anything on my phone. So I was like, ugh. And so like we had tried on Krista's 2 days ago and it didn't work. Like, it was just like, no, you can't do that. So today I finally was like, hey, is it okay if I like do this? I was like, it's only $2.99. I don't even know if it's gonna work. Like, I've run into so many problems. And Krista was like, yeah, it's fine. She had to return some stuff recently. She was like, yeah, there's even like some credit on the account. Like, it should just like come out of that. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I still couldn't use a gift card. Because the only option is buy with one click, and that defaults to not, like, it won't let you do anything else. She's like, yeah, it's fine, go ahead. So I like clicked the button and it immediately went through. And I was like, what? I have used that button before. I have hit the buy with one click button for literally like a very minor item. Like, I think I was getting, I don't even know. This was a while ago. But I remember I hit that button and then it was like, okay, please log in to verify your existence. And I was like, So I was expecting that to happen. And then I was like standing next to Krista, like, okay, I'm probably gonna need the password. I never remember this password. I consistently have asked her the password every time I have to use it. She always tells me, and then I always forget it. But like, I was waiting and then just went through and I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, so I have it. I have it. So here you go. This is the cover, and I did have the name wrong, so I'm just gonna tell you the full name. Everyone is covered. They're in lingerie. I think it's fine. We're going with it's fine. It's the sentient physical manifestation of Halloween eats me out. Ta-da! So that will be the book I read at some point. My lunch is almost over, but apparently not long. So I don't know if I'll be able to like plow through this during what's left of my lunch break. Sorry, that was not a joke. Get through this before my lunch break is over, and then I can just fill you in, or what? Because if it was audio, I was gonna wait and like hang out, but like I've already been filming all of these clips, so maybe I'll just read it and then fill you in before my lunch is officially over. I don't know. I was debating about filming my reactions, but I also would just be sitting in silence, and that would be weird. So I'm not going to do that. I could play music, but the last time I attempted to do that, I got a copyright strike on a video that said it did not have copyrights. So yeah, I will fill you in at some point, probably after work, before I do my makeup. It is sunny now. I'm also like still so freaking stressed. Anyway, I will talk to you later, gremlins, when I have an update on, this title is too long, so we're just gonna call it Sentient Halloween for my own benefit. And again, I know this is for the Terrifier prompt because it was something out of your comfort zone, and I debated about also picking a movie for this because I've actually done books for all the prompts this time. And I have seen Terrifier 1 and 2. I did not like either of them. I was debating on watching the third one, and I don't want to. Also, it's a Christmas movie, so I like extra didn't want to. It's set around Christmas, y'all. Like, I could not do that. Okay, I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna read this. I also have water. I went and got myself water. I can read this and eat, because have I eaten yet? No. Do I have some of my lunch break yet left? Yes. So I should go grab food and eat this and drink my water, because I keep forgetting to drink water. I'm horrible at hydration. Coffee? Yes. Water? No. All right. I will talk to you later, gremlins. I will try and get through this and still have time at the end of my lunch break. If not, I'll fill you in at the end of my workday. But I will talk to you. I'll talk to you later. I am scared a bit. In like a good way. I've just never read one of these. I've seen so many people like react to them. But yeah, I gotta go. If I want to try and read this, I have to go. Okay, I'm gonna go. All right, talk to you later, gremlins. Y'all, I'm already done. So, okay, I knew these were short, and I actually think someone else read this. Was it Anda? Oh, I think so. Hold on. Yeah, I am very sure Anda Ken read this book, because the actual sentient physical manifestation of Halloween part is not very long. It's very short. So I was done with it in under 10 minutes, not even. It is spice. Like, it is definitely, it is, I would say it is very well crafted erotica. And I have actually read some erotica. I actually used to get sent them to review occasionally at the website I worked for. Well, worked. It was some friends. We did a website, and I would get sent books, and occasionally I got erotica books. I thought it was like we're just gonna there. That one hair has just been like poking me. Anyway, it was well crafted for the back-to-back sex scenes. It's really just like 2 sex scenes at a corn maze. But those were handled well. Very quick to the steaminess. It did its part. Also, oddly enough, I could picture the characters. The cover did help, but you could admittedly read it and just like not picture one of them having a pumpkin for a head if you wanted, and it would just, it'd be fine. But it was solidly written, also very short. Then the other like half of the book, not even half, the other part of the book is the short story Moby Butt, which I did read because I paid $2.99 for this. And it was fine. Those ones confused me a little. So in the Halloween one, Halloween has like a human body and just a pumpkin head. I am always tremendously confused by the covers where like it's something that doesn't have seemingly arms, legs, or anatomy. So this also confused, like Moby Butt just confused me because it's a butt, but also it had other parts. And I was like, what? I mean, one of the parts made sense, but also I think it had hands. And I was like, you have hands? What? And there's a character in something. Oh gosh, what is it in? There was something in like a goofy superhero thing. I'll get it. Oh, I am totally thinking of, oh crap, what is that called? Doom Patrol. Actually, that works now because I think they have hands. Okay, so it's like the creatures from Doom Patrol, which were just like sentient butts. Okay, actually, I get it now. I should have just thought of that first. But I mean, that was fine. A little weird. I'm also not a pirate person, and this was like a ship thing. Because this was like Moby Dick, but the whale is a butt. Anyway, I actually thought the writing was solid. I believed that this woman who is divorcing her partner, who's a jerk, would hook up with this woman. Well done in that regard. When I used to review those, like, because there was collections, I'd be like, this is well written. And then I would have like nothing else to say. Because I was like, I can't explain it to you further. I'm not going to. But it was fine. Price point is solid. You do technically get 2 stories, so that's fine. I don't know that I would gravitate towards another one, which is not its fault. It's just the process for me was very bizarre. And you know, I am very sure I could find other things that would be I've read some other things that are written similarly. What was it? Or like a Valentine's Day one. I have read some that are like smutty, that like were just on Kindle Unlimited. And like I would say explore it if you want. Crossing it off the list. And now my lunch break is like over. I just like finished it and I was like, wait, that was it? And I literally had to scroll back like on the thing because I was like, wait, what? And now I'm on like a list of, you can click on a number of other books if you would like. Oh, there's even some like no sex ones. Interesting. But yeah, that's it for this update. So that one's done, which means the only book left in this vlog is a picture of Dorian Gray, which I will not be reading today. So yeah, I will read it this weekend. But this vlog may be kind of short since I've read through things a lot faster, but maybe I'll stretch it so I can do, like, watch some of Apartment 7A, because I am definitely not doing that tomorrow. And Sunday is football day, so I wouldn't be doing it on Sunday either. So we'll see. I don't want to add any more books to this vlog though, so we shall see. Maybe I'll toss on an episode for the end of the day, just so I can give you, like, thoughts on episode 1, because I wasn't going to watch the whole series. So there you go. That's it for now. I gotta go. I'm gonna... yeah, that's it. I have no other thoughts. I will recommend if you want smut. But like like there was consent. It was well done. I don't know how to tell you about this book. But yeah, I'm gonna go though and do work stuff because I have like a minute. So I will talk to you later, possibly after I do my makeup or while I'm doing my makeup. No, because that's very messy. I'll attempt to throw on an episode of 7A just to get an idea for it, kind of. And then I'll fill you in possibly after I've done my makeup when I'm slightly less sticky. One of the bloods is really sticky. It's fake blood. Fake blood is sticky. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I will talk to you later, gremlins, when I have updates on something. And my appearance will be different. Hello gremlins, it's the end of my workday and I do need to do my makeup, but I thought I would chat with you super fast because I did play Apartment 7A and it's not a TV show. It's a movie. I just thought it was a TV show because everything that I thought was like new to Paramount was always a TV show, I guess. But no, it's just a movie and it's shorter than Rosemary's Baby. They do give us more insight into Terry in that they have her be a dancer who got injured, and the reason she's been like doing things and is kind of a mess when the Castovitz find her is because of this injury. Now, I had a couple things really quick. So I did write that down. We do get another the devil is here situation where someone has definitely drugged Terry, and in this situation it's a big like dance number, whereas for Rosemary it was a like on the sea scene, but it is a dance number and we do actually see the devil in hers and he's creepy as heck. So creepy. He's like diamond covered. And then let's see, but what happens at that point is she does actually get a job. Like all of this happens and then she gets a dancing gig. And then it seems like everyone is just trying to make sure that Terry can be a dancer, and they actually think that she will just give them the baby. Like the idea is different. Well, Rosemary they sort of trick Rosemary in hers where they like tell her they don't plan on Rosemary being the mother, but they don't set it up as much as they do with Terry. In Terry's, they like don't assume that she wants to keep the baby. They're kind of like, oh, well, you'll have the baby and then like we'll take it, which is interesting. It does make sense because Terry, they're like, oh, you want to be famous, you want to be in the lights, you want to do like all this stuff. So we get all of that where like they're using Terry's desire to be like a big dancer, like the star of a show, as part of the plot. They also have the like, when Roman talks about his dad being a theater person and we think that might be a lie, they actually have it not be a lie in this. They like mention a name and I was like, that's Roman's dad. And I was like, and he is a theater person? Which was so strange to me because I was like, oh, I thought that was just a lie, but I guess not. I mean, they could have just rolled with it not being a lie for this because it worked perfectly with making Terry a dancer. But it was good. I enjoyed it. Some creepy stuff happens. We get explanations for Miss Gardenia. Now, what's odd is at the, so they call it Apartment 7A, but while she is in 7A, the actual Castovitz are not. They're in a different room and must have switched rooms when Rosemary and Guy moved in because they're not. It was so interesting because I was like, they're not in the same room. We do get the attached room part, which is very clever. But yeah, I did enjoy it. Also, Diane Wiest plays Minnie and does the voice and I was cracking up. She was very good. She was also meaner in this because she actually gets very upset with Terry consistently because she thinks Terry's kind of like looking a gift horse in the mouth. So I did enjoy it. It was a good time and I appreciated that it was a bit faster paced. And we got to see Terry like doing her job. She wasn't just like at the apartment all the time. She was more like doing work and like doing what she wanted. Whereas Rosemary in hers is just like at the apartment all the time. And that's really all we're getting. But I do need to start doing my makeup. I just wanted to fill you in. And again, this means the last book I have for this vlog is a picture of Dorian Gray, which I won't be reading for a little bit. So yeah, but I need to get ready. So I might show you what I look like before I leave. Maybe not. Maybe when I get home. I haven't decided. Oh, I'm still very, very nervous. So nervous. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta get ready. I will talk to you later, gremlins. Tonight, tomorrow, I'm not even sure. Possibly not till tomorrow morning. I have no idea. Anyway, I gotta go. Talk to you later. The blue really helps. Hi, hello. This is all makeup. I'm totally fine. The blue of my laptop, well, not my laptop, my work computer is making me look very black. Like the black eyes look very, very black. This is all fake though. The blue lighting makes it look lovely. But I just wanted to show you. I gotta go head out, but ta-da! All right, see you later, gremlins, when I look normal-ish. Hello, gremlins. The lighting is wild because we're in my bathroom, but I have not talked to you all day at all. It is Saturday. The opening night went really well. We were told the house got good feedback, so we did well. I think my makeup was pretty good. I'm gonna change up one of my eyes and make it less bruised all the way over and like reduce it a little and maybe add more blood. But overall, I think it was good. I had fun. I did. So I had bruised my knee the night before. I slipped on something in the bedroom. I'm fine. But yesterday I decided that I would just like slide off the bed consistently while people were walking by, which doesn't really hurt because I like prepare to do it. But still I have re-bruised my knee. So we'll see how that goes. I am drinking throat coat tea and I just had some oatmeal. So I definitely used too many cough drops last night. I was trying to like preemptively coat my throat. And I'm gonna have to just drink more water instead because I actually think I made myself sick. I was really nauseous all day today. I like kind of ate lunch and I basically ate some tater tots for lunch and that was it. And then like I had a turnover for breakfast that we needed to eat because it'd been in the fridge, but like I just could not really eat food. Like it was making me nauseous. So I was like nauseated. Actually, I think it's feeling that, whatever. I just didn't feel well. But I felt fine eating the oatmeal and I wanted to have something in my stomach. And so I'm drinking the throat coat tea in advance and then I'm just gonna try and drink water for most of the night instead. I think I can hide it closer to me than where it was, but I do have to do my makeup. But yeah, so it went well. I think it was fun. Did some like improv-y stuff with the doctor, which was cool. But yeah, so let me show you my setup real quick. Turn this. Hi, that was a really funny angle on my mouth, I'm sure. So this is what I'm using. So this is spray blood that I'm using an eyedropper for to do near my eyes and nose. And then this is like peel off sticky blood. It just is a little bit darker and you can layer it a little. Then I'm using my Monster High makeup palette because it has blues and blacks and pinks and then like some shiny purple. And I use that for my bruising and any like marks on my body that I decide to add. And then there's my tea and I'm watching Bob's. So I have it on the Tina Witch episode. I watched it Bob's last night, so I just thought I would keep watching Halloween Bob's because Kristen and I have technically watched all of them. But yeah, I think that is it. I'm gonna put you back because I'm gonna be bloody again. I'm not gonna show you my outfit again because you've already seen it. Sorry, you were just really close up on Bob's face. But yeah, so I'm gonna get to work. I will talk to you later, gremlins. Possibly not until tomorrow because I was pretty tired when I got home last night. So yeah, fun camera angles for all. But yeah, I will talk to you later, gremlins, probably tomorrow during football day. Bye for now. Hello, gremlins. It is Sunday afternoon. We actually got up really early and I've already watched a football game. So there was like a game in Dublin. We were up very early to watch it. But I didn't talk to you after I got home last night. It was so busy. We were so busy. We ran with very limited breaks. I think we got 2 breaks the entire time from basically 7 until 10:30 and we just like didn't really stop. So it was really fun. Just like I was so like, oh my gosh, it's nonstop, and you have to like listen to tell when they're coming from the next, like the room before you, and I was like, oh my gosh. So it was very busy. I did scare some people, which is always fun as the victim, since I'm not really like the scare element exactly. At least that's not how I see myself. I feel like I'm more like set dressing, if that makes sense. Like I'm to show you the doctor is dangerous. But I did get some people who were not expecting a person on the bed, and a few people thought I was gonna grab them because I like reached out and they like jumped back, and I was like, I'm not allowed to touch you, but very glad that you think I can. But it was fun. The only weird thing for me, and I guess it's because I'm like not going to hurt them because I'm not the scare. I had so many parents who brought their kids in who were like, do you want to help her? Do you want to help her? And I'm like, oh God, this is so awkward for them. But like the kids were fine with it. One kid was like, I really don't think I'm allowed to, which they're not allowed to help me. But I had fun. It was a very fun time. My makeup held up. I've been like playing around with it. So yeah, but it was fun. I had to shower again. I knew I was gonna cough. Ugh. Okay. One sec. Oh my gosh, my battery is dying. Okay, super quick. I have started Dorian Gray. I'm not very far in. I did forget how gay this is. It's so gay. It's like only men talking about how much they love each other. But it is very good. But yeah, I had a lot of fun last night. I'm about to make potato skins for lunch. And I need to charge my battery apparently. But I'm mostly gonna be lounging with the dogs and watching football. So I will talk to you later. I have some YouTube to catch up on, so I wasn't gonna film me making food. But I need to charge this. So I will talk to you later, gremlins, when I have a charged battery and I'm farther in picture of Dorian Gray. Hello, gremlins. Oh, the lighting in my office is terrible. I'm very sorry. It's slightly improving. I have finished the picture of Dorian Gray. Ta-da! And so it's been a long time since I read this. I know I've read it before for sure, but it's been years. I believe I read it in college, but again, very long time ago. So if you don't know the story, of the picture of Dorian Gray. The story itself follows Dorian primarily. We do occasionally get like points of view of a couple people kind of scattered in, but we're primarily following Dorian, who is sitting for an artist named Basil, who is basically in love with him. And he is working on his portrait, and the day that Dorian is supposed to come for like his final sitting for this portrait, Lord Henry is there. And Lord Henry is a man. I'm trying to think of a nice way to describe Lord Henry. I think Lord Henry is the kind of guy who in the modern age would think he was typing very philosophical things into Reddit forums, and everyone would think he was an ass. Because Lord Henry like presents these ideas as though they are fact, when they're just his opinions. And the problem is, Dorian at the beginning of this is a very, and I even think throughout, is someone who is very easy to like influence. And so as soon as Henry says like, it's horrible to grow old, you should adore your youth, Dorian, you should never wish to grow old, like all of this flowery nonsense, but like you have to grow old. It's how life works. In the perfect society, perfect existence, you will grow old and you will die. Now, Dorian, after Lord Henry says all of this about how he should always value his youth and blah, 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 and being old is terrible, and Lord Henry is only 10 years older than him, Dorian winds up kind of making a wish, a pseudo bargain with no one in particular, but he says, if only this painting could like age in my stead, something along those lines, and then I would stay forever as I am now, and the painting would change for me. That then actually happens. So the painting, the first time that the painting by Basil changes is after Dorian does something cruel. He has fallen for an actress named Sybil. He is very, very mean to her. And ultimately, something does happen to Sybil that may change the portrait further. But this moment of cruelness alters the face of the portrait. It turns his mouth into sort of a sneer. At least that's what Dorian feels. Like he feels the painting has changed. So he's now determined the deal has gone through. Whatever he did, wished, said is coming to pass. So he's now very paranoid of anyone seeing the portrait. So he has it hidden in his former schoolroom in this like large estate he lives in. And it's hidden away. And then he goes about his life. We follow about 16 years of Dorian's life where now that he knows he is not changing, but the portrait is, he begins acting very strangely. At least based on how we first met him. When we first met him, he seemed kind, young. He was very young. But also he just seemed genuinely someone who's just trying to figure out who he was. Now during this time, Basil does meet him again, but they have not spoken in years. After the sitting for the portrait, and once Dorian realized it had changed, she refuses to ever let Basil see the portrait again. He even, like, Basil wants to present it because he was like, oh, you wanted me to show it. Like, you thought it was wonderful. And he's like, I don't want you to ever look at it. I don't want anyone to look at it. It's mine. He's like, no one's getting it. And Basil's like confused. He's like, but you wanted me to show it. Okay, fine. It's yours. I gave it to you because I had affection for you. And Basil is genuinely, well, not said specifically, in love with Dorian. He really is. And then the issue is that Dorian continues to spend more and more time with Lord Henry, which I do not think helps him in any way. And that's, as the story progresses, there is a murder that I forgot about. I did remember there was someone out to get Dorian. At a certain point, someone has like a revenge plot where he like wants to make Dorian pay for something that has occurred. And just we're following Dorian as he's like making more and more horrible decisions. And he like gains these obsessions with other things like religion and the Catholic Church, which is a religion, but he's like very specifically into like vestments and like what they wear and the ceremony of Catholicism and just very odd things. But it does not go unnoticed that Dorian is not aging. So that is also a plot where eventually like things will come out. I did remember the end pretty solidly, but I did remember some of the events in the middle, but it was very interesting. And I love the fact that obviously this is gay. And like even Lord Henry's character is oddly obsessed with Dorian solely because he is beautiful. And like Lord Henry is married and consistently is like, well, marriage is ridiculous. Like you and your wife don't spend any time together. You don't really care about each other, but you're married. And I'm like, what? So Lord Henry, again, not a nice guy. I just don't like him throughout. I'm like, really, sir? Really? But I very much enjoyed reading it. So I thought before I closed out the video, I would cross off the books I read in this one. Now, this is my second Halloween-A-Thon video. And again, in the first one I did, I explained that because, I think I explained this earlier in the video too, I don't have like a game board printed out or anything. I just have some prompts that I'm checking off as I go. So let me grab my pen. It's over here somewhere. Got it. Okay. So, oh, there we go. For the Terrifier prompt, try and do that. Maybe. Oh, the lighting's gonna get terrible. Terrifier is Chuck Tingle for Outside of Your Comfort Zone. Then Nightmare on Elm Street is Horror Store. It was something like that you can't stop reading, or like you can't stop thinking about, and I have desperately wanted to reread that. Then Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I did A Picture of Dorian Gray. That was like read a classic, I believe. That was either classic or gothic. And then Dracula, oh, okay, so Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is read a gothic story, and I'm counting, I looked it up, it would count. And then the Dracula prompt is Rosemary's Baby, which was read a classic. And I believe that Rosemary's Baby counts. So that is more checked off. I don't have a ton left official prompt-wise. I actually only have 4 books that I have prompts for left, but I do have a bonus book that I will vlog that's set up in there. So I have some books left. I do think I'm going to take a brief interlude, like from Halloween-A-Thon prompt books, because I have a book in the library that does not count. Like I'm not counting it for a prompt, but I do have to go pick it up, and it's a new release, so I will only have a short window of time to read it. So that won't be an official Halloween-A-Thon vlog, but it'll be like a fall Halloween-y kind of vlog. But yeah, that is it. I had a very busy end of the week, especially because I had the haunt. I was kind of tired today, so I actually took a nap for part of the football game time. But yeah, I really enjoyed opening weekend at the haunt. It was fun. I'm still messing around with my makeup to see if there's stuff I want to change. I feel like my makeup looks okay. Not bad, I hope. But yeah, so I will have more haunt weekends. And again, it's just like Friday nights and Saturday nights, so it doesn't conflict with like people's actual work schedules, because they need people to come be at it. So it is very late at night. Also, you need it to be dark. So it's super easy, doesn't mess with my schedule. And it's super, well, not, a bunch of stuff in town is like close to my house, but like in comparison to like having to drive a great distance, it's not too bad to get to. So getting there doesn't involve a huge time commitment, which is good. But yeah, so I'm excited for next weekend and more haunting. I know these are posting kind of later, so you won't see this one until farther into October, when I've done a couple more weekends already, I think. But yeah, and I enjoyed all the books. The Chuck Tingle romance one was a wild time, since I feel like more of it was Moby Butt than the actual Halloween story, which was confusing to me. But I mean, it was well written for what it was. And then I really enjoyed Horror Story. I've wanted to read that book for forever and see like the illustrations and all that. And then, oh gosh, I thought I was gonna cough. Oh, I am. Oh goodness. Oh, and I did enjoy Rosemary's Baby. That was also a very fun read, and it was cool watching the movie and the new like prequel one. But I'm gonna go before I have a huge coughing fit. So like, subscribe, all that jazz. I'm also on Instagram, Cliff Grabber After, and I will see you in the next one. Gremlins. Bye.